The air in the room, or sitting in, is no longer just air. It hums. It carries a weight, a warmth, a presence that wasn't there moments ago. You feel it, don't you? That quiet pull in your chest, that soft ache behind your eyes, that strange knowing in your bones. This is not coincidence, beloved. This is not your mind playing tricks. This is heaven leaning close. So close that the veil between you and eternity is thinned to a whisper. Archangel Michael stands at your side. His wings no longer spread for battle, but folded in reverence. He's not here to fight today. He's here to guide. And God, his voice weaves through the silence, calling your name like a song written before the stars were born. My child, he says. His words softer than a breeze, but heavier than mountains. You thought you were lost. You thought the years of waiting, the nights of weeping, the prayers that seemed to vanish into silence, they were proof I'd forgotten you. But I never forget what I form. I never abandon what I love. Every tear you shed was a seed I planted. Every question you whispered in the dark was a prayer I answered in secret. And now, this moment, this sacred breath is where I unveil what I've been preparing. Jesus steps closer, his presence like a fire that warms without burning. His eyes hold yours, not with judgment, but with a love so deep it feels like home. You carried burdens that weren't yours to bear, he says, his voice trembling with compassion. You loved when it broke you. You gave when it emptied you. You prayed when you had no words left. And I was there every time, collecting every fragment of your heart, every sigh of your soul, every moment you thought you were alone. You were never alone. And now, I'm showing you what those moments were building. Archangel Michael speaks now, his tone steady, like a warrior who knows the battle is won. The gate before you is open, chosen one. It was never locked, but you couldn't see it through the fog of doubt. I've been circling your name, not to protect you from enemies, but to guard the promise inside you. The change you felt, the ones that made you question your worth, your purpose, your place, they were shadows, not steel. And today, they dissolve, not because you earned it, but because you were always enough. You're not here by mistake. You didn't stumble upon this message, you were drawn. That stirring in your spirit, that warmth in your chest, that tear you're holding back, it's not random. It's recognition. Your soul knows this is the moment heaven carved out before you were born. This is the breath where doubt bows, where fear retreats, where delay breaks. God says, I didn't bring you this far to leave you. I brought you here to begin. There is a gate before you now, not made of wood or iron, but of light. It hums with the weight of your destiny, glowing with the promise of what's been held back, not because you weren't ready, but because heaven waits for the perfect moment to release what's eternal. And that moment is now. Jesus leans closer, his scarred hands open, not to pull you, but to walk beside you. You prayed for answers, he says, but I'm giving you more than answers. I'm giving you alignment, a life where your heart doesn't hide, a love that doesn't hurt, a purpose that doesn't waver. Michael's voice cuts through, gentle but firm. You're not chasing anymore, you're receiving. The person heaven prepared for you, the one whose name has been circled with yours, in the spirit realm, is closer than you know. They've been shaped by fire, just like you. They've walked through deserts, just like you. And their heart, like yours, has been asking questions only heaven could answer. I've guarded their path, just as I've guarded yours. And now, your roads are merging. This person isn't a fantasy. They're not a dream you wake from. They're a soul, handcrafted by God, carrying a light that mirrors yours. They've been delayed, not denied. They've been refined, not rejected. And when you meet them, whether in a glance, a word, or a moment so quiet it feels like a whisper, you'll know, not because it's loud, but because it's right. Your soul will recognize them, not as a stranger, but as a memory heaven kept safe until you were both ready. God speaks again, his voice like a river that calms every storm. This love is not a reward for your perfection. It's a reflection of my promise. I didn't send you someone to complete you. You are already whole. I sent you someone to walk with you, to see you, to hold your light when your hands tremble. This is the love I wrote into your story before you knew what love could mean. Jesus smiles, a smile that holds every tear you've cried. This time, it won't hurt. This time, it won't leave. This time, it will feel like me. And Michael, standing tall, nods softly. The delay is over. The gate is open. Step through. Beloved, your destiny is waiting. And as you do, the air shifts again, not heavier, but lighter, as if the weight of years has been lifted by hands you cannot see. The gate of light hums softly, its glow wrapping around you like a promise that refuses to fade. You feel it now, don't you? That quiet certainty, that unshakable knowing, that warmth that doesn't burn but heals. This is not a moment you chased. This is a moment that found you. And heaven is watching, not with judgment, but with joy, because the one they've called by name you has finally answered. God's voice weaves through the stillness, steady as a river, vast as the sky. My child, he says, I didn't create you to wander, I created you to arrive. Every detour, every delay, every door that closed was not a punishment, it was protection. I was guarding what I wrote into your soul. And now, in this breath, I'm unveiling it, not because you earned it, but because you are always mine. Jesus stands closer now, his presence like a melody you've known your whole life, but forgot the words too. His eyes, still carrying the weight of the cross, hold yours with a love that doesn't demand but invites. You prayed for love, he says, his voice soft but unshaken. But I prepared something deeper. I prepared alignment, a connection not born of fleeting feelings, but of eternal purpose. This person, this soul I've shaped for you, is not coming to fix you, they're coming to reflect you. To see the light you've carried through darkness, to hold the dreams you thought you buried, to walk beside you as you rise into who I always knew you could be. Archangel Michael, standing at your right, lowers his sword not in surrender, but in reverence. His voice is firm, yet laced with a gentleness that feels like a vow. This is no ordinary love, chosen one. This is a divine union, sealed in heaven before the earth was formed. I've guarded their path as fiercely as I've guarded yours. They've walked through fires they didn't start, carried questions they couldn't answer, and held on to hope when the world told them to let go, just like you. And now, their name is circling closer to yours, drawn by a force no delay could stop. You pause, don't you? Because the heart hesitates when it feels something too holy to hold. But don't be afraid. This is not a love that will hurt like the others. This is not a promise that will break. This is heaven's answer to the prayers you whispered when you thought no one was listening. God says, I heard you, every time, and I was writing their name next to yours even then. This person, this soul, is not a stranger. They are a memory heaven has kept alive. They've been shaped in silence, refined in struggle, and protected in ways they don't yet understand. Their heart has been asking questions only your presence can answer. And you've been carrying a space only their light can fill, not because you're incomplete, but because heaven crafts connections that multiply what's already whole. Michael speaks again, his voice like a flame that guides rather than consumes. They're closer than you think, not in a rush, not in chaos, but in a quiet moment you won't expect. A glance, a word, a feeling that settles like dew on your soul. You'll know. Not because it's loud, but because it's home. Jesus leans in, his smile carrying 1,000 promises kept. This love will not ask you to shrink, it will ask you to shine. It will not compete with your calling, it will carry it. It will not erase your scars, it will honor them. Because I didn't send you someone to love your surface. I sent someone to see your soul. His hands, still bearing the marks of sacrifice, open toward you, not to pull, but to steady. You've carried so much alone, but now you won't have to. This is the love I wrote when I formed you. This is the love I protected when the world tried to break you. You feel it now, don't you? That shift in your spirit, that softening in your chest. It's not just emotion, it's recognition. Your soul knows this truth before your mind can argue. This person, this divine connection, is not a reward for your perfection. They are a reflection of God's faithfulness. They've been through their own deserts, their own nights of silent prayers, their own moments of wondering if anyone would ever see them fully. And just like you, they've been held by heaven, guided by angels, and whispered to by God himself. Their heart, like yours, has been prepared not for a fleeting moment, but for a lasting miracle. Michael's presence grows stronger, his voice now a steady anchor. Every no you heard was a shield. Every closed door was a redirection. Every tear you shed was a marker, pointing to this moment. You were never denied, beloved. You were being divinely timed. And now, the timing is perfect, not because you're flawless, but because you're ready to believe you're enough. God speaks again, his voice wrapping around you like a father's embrace. This love is not just for you, it's through you. It's a testimony, a ripple, a healing that will touch generations when you meet. A love that doesn't break, a connection that doesn't bend under the weight of the world's chaos. A soul that sees you, not the mask you wear, not the scars you hide, but the light you've carried through every storm. And now, as you stand in this sacred moment, the air around you hums with a truth you've always felt, but never dared to name. Heaven is not silent anymore, the angels are not distant, and God, he's closer than your breath, weaving a story so holy it makes your heart tremble. God speaks now, his voice like a river that flows through every crack in your soul. My child, he says, before I formed the earth, I formed you. Before I spoke light into being, I spoke your name, and beside your name, I wrote another name that carries the same fire, the same hope, the same promise. This person, this soul, is not a chance meeting. They are my design, crafted in the same silence that shaped you. They are my answer to the prayers you didn't know you prayed. Jesus steps forward, his presence a quiet fire that warms the places in you that have grown cold. His eyes hold a story, your story, and they shine with a love that knows every chapter. You've wondered if love could be safe, he says, his voice soft but steady, like a heartbeat you can trust. You've wondered if someone could see you, truly see you, and not turn away. I'm telling you now, they will. They will see the parts of you that you've hidden, the dreams you've buried, the hopes you've stopped speaking aloud. They will see, and they will stay, because I didn't send you a love that leaves. I sent you a love that lives. Archangel Michael stands at your side, his presence a shield and a guide. His sword rests now, not raised for battle, but lowered in certainty. This is no ordinary union, chosen one, he says, his voice like a flame that lights the path ahead. This person has walked through their own wilderness, carried their own questions, fought their own battles. I've guarded them, just as I've guarded you. Their heart has been broken, not to destroy them, but to prepare them. Their soul has been tested, not to weaken them, but to align them with you. And now, their steps are turning toward yours, guided by a hand no eye can see. You feel it, don't you? That quiet shift in your spirit, that soft pull in your chest. It's not fear, it's not doubt, it's recognition. Your soul knows this truth before your mind can question it. This person, this divine connection, is not a fantasy you've conjured in lonely moments. They are real, breathing, moving, living in a world that's closer than you realize. They've been shaped by their own fires, refined by their own silences, and held by the same heaven that holds you now. God says, I didn't forget your heart. I didn't overlook your longing. I was writing a love story too sacred for the world to touch. Jesus leans closer, his scarred hands open, not to pull you, but to steady you. This love will not feel like the others, he says, his smile carrying a peace that settles your deepest fears. It will not rush you. It will not confuse you. It will not ask you to prove your worth. It will simply be like a river that flows without force, like a dawn that breaks without noise. When you meet them, you won't feel a storm. You'll feel a stillness that says, this is what I've been waiting for. Michael's wings stir softly, a sound like a distant hymn, carrying the weight of eternity. They're not far, chosen one, he says, his voice steady as stone, warm as light. They're moving through moments you can't yet see, but heaven can. They've prayed prayers that mirror yours, carried hopes that echo yours, and held on to faith when the world told them to let go. I've watched them, just as I've watched you. I've seen their tears fall in rooms no one else entered. I've heard their questions whispered in the dark, and I've carried their name, circling it with yours, until this moment, until now. This person is not perfect. They are not a dream without flaws. They are a soul, like you, who has walked through pain and emerged with a heart that still dares to love. They've known betrayal, but they chose forgiveness. They've known loss, but they held on to hope. They've known silence, but they learned to listen for a heaven's voice. And now, their heart is turning toward you not because they planned it, but because heaven did. God says, I didn't send you someone to love your surface. I sent someone to cherish your soul, someone who sees your scars and calls them sacred, someone who hears your silence and understands its weight. Jesus speaks again, his voice like a melody that calms every storm. You've carried so much alone, he says. You've poured out your heart without asking to be filled. You've loved when it hurt, believed when it cost you, trusted when it broke you. And I've seen it all. Every moment, every sacrifice, every prayer. And this love is my response, not a reward, but a reflection of how deeply I love you. This person will not complete you, because you are already whole. They will walk with you, because I designed you to rise together. Michael's presence grows stronger, his voice now a beacon in the quiet. This is not a love you need to chase, he says. It's a love you need to receive. It will come in a moment you don't expect, a glance, a word, a feeling that settles like a prayer answered. You won't need to force it. You won't need to fight for it. You'll only need to recognize it. And when you do, I'll be there, standing watch, not to guard you from danger, but to guide you into destiny. You're not alone in this moment. You're not reading this by chance. The warmth in your chest, the tears behind your eyes, the ache in your soul, they're not random. They're heaven's confirmation. This love, this connection, is not a hope you've held onto in vain. It's a promise God has kept. Jesus says,